Let's start with Donald Trump. He's backing off on his demand for the wall, or at least the demand for funding for the wall inside of this budget cycle. You saw on this week, Donald Trump threatened to shut down, to use the government shutdown as a possibility to pressure Democrats and Republicans into funding his wall. Jeff Sessions alluded to it in basically saying that we're going to do whatever we have to do to find money for Donald Trump's wall. Donald Trump has realized very quickly the political toxicity of that approach. Can you imagine? And before I go into the discussing it, but he's backed off, and he's backed off because this will blow up in his face. Now, can you imagine what it would be for the Republicans to have the government to shut down when they are in charge of all the branches of government? The House, the Senate, Congress as a whole, and the White House. So this would be political suicide for him. But more importantly than that, I think this is reflective of Donald Trump finally learning that he is not a dictator, that he is not some type of king that can just rule by edict and force the House of Representatives and the Senate to do whatever he demands. This is actually a job. Contrary to what he believed prior to coming into the White House, this is a job that requires that he gets consensus, even from people that are ostensibly on his side. And so instead of trying to jam this down down the throats of Republicans, down the throats of the Democrats, and threatening to shut down the government, Donald Trump is backing off. And I think he's backing off because, one, he's probably tired of losing, and especially within the first 100 days, how many more losses can he take? But then also because I think he's finally learning how the government works. And I put emphasis on that because it's a recurring theme that we see on an ongoing basis. Donald Trump doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He finally learns a little bit about it. And once he learns a little bit about it, he conforms to the status quo. That last part's a little problematic because there are some things that he should not conform to the status quo on, but that's an entirely different conversation. But in regards to shutting down the government for the sake of getting funding for the wall, it looks like Donald Trump is backing down from that because it would be political suicide for the Republicans to have the House, the Senate, and the White House and allow the government to shut down.